man, could now be the moment that I sell all my altcoins and transfer them across into more Bitcoin. We've got Bitcoin here on the hourly chart setting itself up for an impressive breakout. We are forming bullish patterns in the chart. We've just reclaimed our weekly EMA ribbon, and Bitcoin dominance is setting itself up for another leg up. We're going to break down exactly what's going on in this video, plus what my strategy is. Make sure you smash the likes. Don't forget to subscribe. As always, if you want to trade, check out the links in the description to Bybit, where you can get some amazing bonuses. Now guys, as you can see here on the hourly chart, we are forming a very important symmetrical triangle, which if we can break out of over the next handful of hours, we can finally get through the tough resistance at 26.6. If we zoom out slightly here, Bitcoin's been having a hard time at this green line, 26.6k, but finally we're consolidating into a bullish pattern here. Can we continue this bullish continuation pattern where you move, you consolidate, and you expect to move again to the upside? We've of course got a lot of overhead resistance, but if we zoom out, what you can see, the bigger pattern that we're in here on the 4-hourly chart, and really you can look at it on the daily as well, is this falling wedge, right? This is a bullish continuation pattern. When you move into it in a bullish sense, a falling wedge will then move to the upside more times than it breaks to the downside. Now, of course, we did have our fake out last week to the downside. We managed to recover. The question now is, can we work our way to the upside, right? This will give you a price target at the top of the wedge of 31k. Now, why is that 31k level? Well, we know if we go into another diagram which we've been following, is we're forming our huge cup and handle reversal pattern, which you can even look at on the weekly chart. And this is the pattern we need to play out, right? We need to break out from this handle. We need to work up to 30,000 here, 31,000, clear that range, and then the lights are on for us to hit a big price target of 45,000. Why? Because look how quickly we fell. This is the last cluster of resistance we've got trading at this level. Once we clear this level, we fell so quickly that I'd expect a powerful move up towards 45. It'll happen quicker than you think, right? A nice quick burst up towards 45,000. Now, if you overlay this weekly chart where we're in the handle part of the cup and handle in a downward channel here, look where we're working towards. We're working towards the middle line of the Bollinger Band. Now remember, the middle line of the Bollinger Band can indeed, it doesn't necessarily have to every time, but it can indeed act as support. So that's what we're going to be hoping here. We've held a little bit of support here over last week where we managed to eke out a green candle. Can we now take this next leg up here to move to the upside? That's what we want to look out for. Now, of course, the risk continues to remain that we may want to visit all the way down to the bottom of the Bollinger Band, right? That brings you down to crazy price targets such as 21,700. But what we do have to look at here so far this week is we managed to hold our weekly EMA ribbon, right? We got the candlestick close yesterday, and look at that candlestick. We just managed to get above it. And this is really important because earlier last week after the FOMC meeting on Wednesday, we wicked all the way below our EMA ribbon. And if we do that, the chances of us going down to levels like 20 and 21,000 increases hugely. So the fact that we were able to hold above our EMA ribbon is really, really positive, but we're not out of the woods yet. We need to follow that up with another positive week this week as well. So we're looking good here on Bitcoin. It's all part of the plan so far, right? Remember when I said we'll need to tear up the script? Not yet. If you look at this horizontal support where my cursor is right now, this is along that 25k region because you got this cluster here, you had this cluster here. So now that we've broken above it, when we went all the way up this candlestick, it's perfectly normal for us to create this pattern and then want to retest it on the backside. That's okay. Us turning 25k level into support is a good thing. What we cannot afford to do is fall below that, right? So far, so good. But it's only good if we bounce here and get above 31. That's the important bit right now. Bounce here, get it past 31. Even if that means a couple of weeks of red weeks, it's fine. As long as the majority of the weeks coming up here now are green, we can start to move this to the upside now. Something critical has happened that's got me thinking about my portfolio. And I want to share with you my thought process. As you guys know, the whole reason behind me setting this channel up is to share my research and to share my thought process. Not financial advice, not for you to copy what I'm doing, but I'm sharing with you how my brain processes the information we're seeing. So right now what we're seeing here, and we've been monitoring this for a very long time, is a Bitcoin dominance breakout. And you can see that Bitcoin dominance was forming a W pattern. Okay, this W pattern formed between the 39% mark and the 48% mark. We couldn't get above the 48% mark for a very long time. Then a couple of weeks ago, we got the candlestick above it, and last week we consolidated with another week above it. So not only have we confirmed a breakout now of this W pattern, but we've also managed to confirm it with another candle there above it as well. Now, if you look at my diagrams, which I've had drawn for a while, I expected this breakout and now it's happened. I wouldn't be surprised to see a retest, right? Does it want to come back down before then eventually working its way towards 52 and then 59? Those are the next two key levels here for Bitcoin. If you tie this in from a fundamental perspective, because again, you know this channel wants to blend technicals with fundamentals. The technicals telling us a W pattern on the dominance, great stuff. Now, what do we know from a narrative perspective in terms of what's happening with the fundamentals of Bitcoin? We know that there's a move towards Bitcoin and Ethereum. Why? Because the SEC are going after Coinbase and Binance under the guise that they're selling unregistered securities, i.e. listing that many altcoins, the 13 altcoins they listed in the lawsuit, could be deemed as securities. This is putting a bunch of selling pressure on altcoins, right? Now, of course, we know that Ethereum is not caught up in this mess. But so far, you can see this is a horrible mess, right? The week when it happened, when the lawsuits came out, 12% in that week decimated away from the market cap of altcoins excluding Ethereum. That's called total 3. Okay, so big, painful, horrible candlestick here. Now, of course, we don't need to overreact. It's still not even as low as we had here towards the end of December, but it was a big blow, right? Because we're working our way up here and getting the market caps up. Fine. Last week, we stabilized a little bit, but the impact has been felt. People move their money away from altcoins. We saw that fundamentally. And therefore, what's that going to benefit? It's going to benefit Bitcoin, right? It's going to benefit Bitcoin, and that money's going to flow into Bitcoin and a little bit of Ethereum as well, but primarily Bitcoin. And that is why I'm fully expecting Bitcoin dominance to continue. Now, what else? Because a lot of people are concerned about their altcoins right now. What did I say in my videos last week? I said, guys, does it really matter? This whole premise and the whole premise of every single crypto cycle we have ever seen is Bitcoin setting the pace and altcoins following behind. Bitcoin triggering a bull market, creating crazy price action, driving market cap, and then a percentage of that market cap waterfalling down into major altcoins and then smaller altcoins and then your risky plays and your degen plays and then your really speculative plays. It's always led by Bitcoin. So therefore, what has changed? We're in the depths of a bear market. We're waiting for Bitcoin to respond. Just like Bitcoin responded at the start of this year, working its way up from 15,500, knocking on the door of 31,000. We need it to do it again, right? We need it to push on towards 40, 45, 50, eventually all-time highs at 69, and do its work. And eventually, the good projects, the good altcoin projects with good runway, with good fundamentals, those which you have conviction in, will eventually benefit. It's just going to be a long game. You just got to be able to hold it. And that is why I always say any altcoins which I hold, which I say I have conviction in, I am willing to hold for many years. I would not buy an altcoin in excessive amounts if I wasn't prepared to hold it 90% retraced. We know that crypto retraces. And even within there, I'm happy for any one of my given altcoins to fail. Because you know that not all projects survive bear markets. Right? So with that said, I'm happy for Bitcoin to go on another leg. I'm happy for altcoins to struggle right now. I don't care. I care about altcoins doing well in the midst of the bull market. Right? If we're in a bull market and the altcoins doing well, then it's a failed investment, isn't it? Right? Then you flopped. Right? After the bull market, when Bitcoin does well, the money will then flow into alts. Right now, I don't care what the altcoins do. It's irrelevant. When Bitcoin gets to all-time highs, starts pushing the agenda, moving forwards, then it set the pace for altcoins. So with that said, I'm looking at this. And the question now is going to be, will I transfer everything into Bitcoin? And you can make a really sound argument for doing so. And I've mentioned this a few times on my video. There is a lot to be said about transferring in and out for crypto. But the problem is you have to be very good at doing that. And personally, I don't think I'm going to do that. I don't think I'm going to try to time the market. I'm not going to transfer out of my altcoins into Bitcoin and then play this game where I'm jumping in, jumping out. Because I understand my emotions. I know my emotions will get the best of me, and I know I'm going to make some silly trades and silly mistakes where I just won't get back in the market. And I cannot afford to not be in the market. So much easier for me is to say, these are the projects I like to hold. Bitcoin's there as a big chunk. I've always DCA'd into it. It's there as a big part of my portfolio. It's the anchor of my portfolio. And I never neglected it. Even in the good times, I kept adding Bitcoin at 64,000 and more. I kept DCAing. I was very religious at doing so. Therefore, and then these are all my altcoins. And I'm going to hold it. And I'm not going to try to sell it and jump into Bitcoin. And then when I think Bitcoin dominance is going to reverse back down, sell it back out of Bitcoin and start picking up my altcoins. Because then everything's going to change. The whole dynamic's going to change. So it's far easier for me to treat every altcoin that I believe in as a separate entity. If I like the price, I DCA some more, right? And that's it. If my conviction changes, I look to offload. And that's how I keep things simple. But that doesn't mean you can't do it. Maybe some people will want to do this, and there will be some really good traders or people who can control their emotions, who can time the market. Good for them. For me, I'm not risking it. It happens way too many times where you try to time the market and you never come back in, and you're left on the sideline saying, oh, I never got back into my altcoins, and now altcoins exploding and Bitcoin's not moving now, and you're just going to hate it, right? So for me, I'd much rather have my holistic portfolio, having enough Bitcoin that when Bitcoin runs, I'm enjoying it, I'm taking advantage of it, my portfolio is doing well, but I've still got my altcoins sat there, not expecting anything to happen. But when Bitcoin starts cooling off and the altcoins are ready to move, I've got enough to take advantage of that. That's how I like to operate. Let me know in the comments, guys, which kind of strategy do you guys like to use? And we've also got a huge week coming up here in the markets. Now, as you guys know, after an FOMC meeting where we got secretly rugged, right? Yes, it was good. We got a pause. We got secretly rugged because they said we're going to get more than one rate hike now, and the market wasn't expecting it. Now what's going to happen is you're going to get a bunch of Fed officials coming out this week to talk. So on Wednesday, you're going to get Powell testifying before Congress. So that's going to be an important one. We'll probably live stream that together and listen in on that Congress. Then you're going to get Fed Jefferson, followed by Fed Mester. On Thursday, Fed Bowman, and then Barking. And on Friday, you got Bullard, who's, remember, not a voting member, but super hawk. Then you got Bostic and Mester again. So a very important week for Fed officials. Do expect volatility in the market. They can't move this market, as you know. Now, the other thing I wanted to share with you was very important, was an update on the BlackRock spot Bitcoin ETF. A lot of people ask me what happens next. I've posted a Twitter thread. You can get it in my Telegram, ijaz.uk/TG. It's free. Or just go head over straight to my Twitter @RealIjaz1, like you can see there on the screen. Now, what the SEC have to do is in the next 30 days to review this, but they can extend it for another 60 days, okay? But go in there because I do break down some important things here which might get you a little bit shocked about a surveillance sharing agreement that BlackRock are introducing. If you've not watched my video where I share some of my suspicions around BlackRock, I'll leave that linked up for you guys to go watch. But look, it's a good thing. File for a spot ETF, that's fine. I've just got a few more concerns around the bigger scheme of if it's BlackRock that gets approved and Grayscale didn't get approved, nobody else got approved. What's going on here? Is this their way of controlling the situation? Another thing I want to quickly share with you guys is the following. As aspiring investors, people want to build wealth in crypto. You want to look at this and say, what do the long-term holders do, right? Because ultimately, it's the long-term holders that have always built wealth in crypto. If you look at the history of crypto, nobody who's held crypto for over 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, of course, 12 years has lost money in crypto without selling. And so when you look at the long-term holders' behavior, it's their ability to not panic at key events. And this metric here from Glassnode, which by the way, you can check out, link in the description, ijaz.uk/Glassnode, some amazing on-chain metrics, shows you something really interesting. Only 0.004% of the long-term supply fled to exchanges after the Coinbase and Binance lawsuit. So when everybody was panicking, the long-term holders barely flinched. They did not go take their ledger, start moving coins across into Coinbase or Binance or any other exchange looking to sell. They did not do that. Only 0.004%. This was nothing for them. They did not react. But look at the difference. Here with the short-term holders was 0.93%. That's a huge order of magnitude difference. And that is the difference between short-term holders and long-term holders. Short-term holders come in at silly prices. They get excited when Bitcoin's pumping. And then when Bitcoin falls to the downside, they panic because they're now in the red and their portfolio is horrible. A long-term investor just goes, you know what? I'm here for a long-term horizon. I'm going to keep adding. I'm going to do it religiously. I don't care if there's bad days. I'm not selling. There's going to be good days. There's going to be bad days. I'm just going to hodl, right? And that's the difference here. But overall, even both of these percentages aren't crazy. If you look at a historical crazy day for Bitcoin, you're looking at least a 1% move on the short-term holders. So this was nearly there at that threshold, but it was less than normal. So the market didn't overreact to the situation. Probably a lot of investors were expecting this, right? We know that this security battle to do with altcoins is a battle we have to fight. And I think the market prefers that Coinbase is leading that charge and fighting that battle on all of our behalf. Of course, we have the Hinman documents as well, which should further aid XRP's battle against the XRP as well. So a lot is going on right now. This is going to be a defining moment for crypto. And if we can navigate through it, we could be seeing some explosive moves ahead in the near-term future. Let me know how you guys coping in this market. What are your plans? Are you moving across to altcoins, or are you moving your altcoins into Bitcoin? Let me know in the comments. Don't forget to go watch this video here, and I'll see you in the next one.